Hi, my name is Beth, and I designed my Frieren wig for this past Comic-Con NYC. I started out by purchasing a base wig and a wig I would dissect for its part line in the same color. I cut out where I wanted that extended part line to go, and then proceeded to sew down the 2 part lines I was able to make. I was very careful not to sew into my wig block during this part of the process. I know a lot of cosplay artists would typically make a helmet wig and artfully lay down the hair. However, I chose to style mine this way, mainly so I could use it for the future for a style that is different, and also because, although it is very subtle, I personally like the softness that comes with not having the hair entirely glued down or gelled down to where it is. To be honest, I also have never attempted a helmet wig, and I'm curious to see, in the future, what the pros and cons are of choosing those techniques over the ones I chose for this project. If any wig makers or designers are watching, I'd be curious to know your thoughts on the matter. Once those were attached, I needed to steam out the wave pattern of the second wig I had purchased. Then, I finally had a part line that traveled all the way down my wig, and it was finally time to start working on the pigtails. I sectioned out where the pigtails would be and teased inside the perimeter of those sections, leaving out panels of hair to cover what had been teased. I used hair ties to position the pigtails, and once I was satisfied with their placement, secured them with zip ties. It was then time for me to cut the remaining fringe section into Frieren's bangs. Frieren has some interesting bangs that are fairly short and curtain-like in the center, but then are disconnected and longer on the edges. I started by cutting the hair much longer than it needed to be, and then I slowly and carefully shaped the bangs into what I was looking for using a razor. I then carefully thinned out and shortened the outer edges of the bangs using thinning shears and a razor until it reached a length and wispiness that I was satisfied with. Towards the end, I proceeded to use scissors and hairspray to finally achieve the look I was going for. Once the bangs were done, I proceeded to cover the zip ties I had used to hold up the ponytails with the hair from the ponytails themselves. I did this by wrapping the hair around the base and covering it thoroughly with Got2b hairspray. Then, finally, my wig was complete, and it was time for me to wear it to NYC Comic-Con. I had such a fun time going with my friend Isa, who was the friend to my Frieren. I had a fun time making her wig too, which you can see in one of my previous videos. Comic-Con NYC was so fun, and I can't wait for next year. Thank you for sticking around to the end of this video, and let me know what kind of wigs you'd like me to style in the future. See you next time, and happy crafting!